Okay, so remember this problem from last week? I asked you to find the area of this poster. We have dimensions 1 meter in length by 2/3 meter in width. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw on this picture so we can visualize what 1 meter by 2/3 meter really looks like when we're talking about area. So 1 meter by 1 meter, let's get a different color in here. It's a pretty one. If this is 1 meter, right, by 1 meter, would look probably a little bit more like this. I mean, in fact, it would go off the page realistically. So that would be 1 meter by 1 meter. And when we're taking 2/3 of a meter, essentially what we're doing is we're saying, what is 2/3 of that 1 meter? So we're going to take a different color and we will go over, we're going to draw other lines. 2/3 of 1 meter, right, is going to give us the area of this picture, which is going to be 2/3 of a meter squared. So the answer to this problem, most of you got it last week, but the answer to this problem is, if you didn't, no worries, it's a new thing, 2/3 of a meter squared. That is messy. Not doing messy fractions. All right, it's a little better. 2/3 of a meter squared is the area of the wall that this picture is covering. Okay, so now let's move on to something a little tiny bit more complex. We're gonna look at a fridge. And this fridge measures 2 meters by 3/4 of a meter. So essentially, we're going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to show what 2 meters by 1 meter would look like to start off. And this is going to be particularly important when we start to do fractions by fractions tomorrow. All right, so let's do blue. Yeah, that's a nice color. Okay. So 2 meters by 1 meter would look something like this. Let's block it off. There's 2 meters, right? And it's going to go over another 1/4. We should be able to partition it into 4 equal parts. Unfortunately, there's enough space in this picture, a little bit better. Not the best lines. Could have done better with that. I'm on a 5-minute time limit right now. All right, so there's my 2 meters by 1 meter, but we are only multiplying that 2 meters times 3/4 of a meter. So check it out. I'm going to take a different color again, right? And I'm going to take just 3/4 of that 2 meters. So that's 2 meters by 3/4 of a meter. If you want, we could do, there's 1, that would be about half, about 1/4. Right? And this is the area of the fridge. That's my sloppy, not straight lines. So 3/4 of a meter here, 3/4 of a meter here. 2 meters total would be 8/4, right? And this is 1/4 and 1/4. So 3/4 plus 3/4 is going to be 6/4 of a meter, right? 3/4 here, 3/4 here. So when we add them together, we are going to get 6/4 of a meter squared, right? Because this is surface area. 6/4 of a meter squared. Okay, so now it's your turn to go ahead and look at some of the problems for today. Do at least 2 problems that are similar to this. Pick ones that are hopefully not too easy and not too hard. And I'd like you to draw a visual representation of the problem